When was the last time Santa Claus was good to Carolina Pro Sports?
Um, 2015 maybe.
Even then, I don't, okay, yeah,
Well,
maybe Hornets.
I mean, he had jokes though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you know, it's like getting a really dope gift and then it's damaged when you when you
right,
unwrap
yeah.
it. So, yeah, that's all I got, man.
Well, no such cold this year, as pretty much
It's been a good Christmas
man.
Eve weekend or Christmas weekend or what have
Hornets,
you, man.
Panthers, and Hurricanes,
Yeah.
all huge wins. Broke some records, some milestones for all three of those teams.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just a great weekend to be.
Look, man, anytime we can beat LeBron and the Lakers, that might be the only gift I need. I'm cool.
I would have been fine with just that win, honestly.
Right.
Especially the way it ended,
yeah,
which we'll get to in a little bit. But the way it ended was great. But I also love the way today's game ended with Carolina Panthers beating the Detroit Lions 37-23 in a game that wasn't even really that close.
Pretty much. And a game that the Detroit Lions were favored by 8,
I believe. 8 in what was the coldest game ever played at Bank of America Stadium at the time of kickoff.
Was that the reason why they were favored? Because I guess the odds makers were saying, "Oh, Detroit, I guess they're the cold."
No,
weather.
They play in a dome.
Dome, but whatever, man.
Yeah, great game by the Carolina Panthers in which they absolutely dominated offensively, which is just odd.
I had a 2009 flashback. It looked like double trouble out there.
It looked like D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart's out there, and even they have never had a performance on the ground like this. Carolina Panthers set a franchise rushing record with 312 yards on the ground and a franchise record for total yards in the game at let me make sure I get this right.
570 yards.
570 yards. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so we weren't just running the ball. Hey, Sam Darnold was.
You mean Cam
Darnold. 15 for 22, 250 yards passing.
I know.
19 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. One of those are rushing touchdowns. Did not get sacked the entire game. A QBR of 85 and a passer rating of 121.
Hey man, first question out the gate, man. What are you thinking about this this whole read option wrinkle that's now in the offense now? What do you think about that?
Maybe we were too hard on Matt Rule when he said last season Sam can do what Cam can do. Maybe we were too hard on
until he takes the hit, but you know what? Never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
hey, I mean, it works. It works, right? I hope we don't see that too much going forward. I'll just put it that right. way. But I mean, it was effective. They ran a triple option for a touchdown today to Blackshear, a guy who I absolutely love, by the way.
I tweeted today, positive things seem to always happen when he touches the ball, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Him, Laviska Shenault.
Yeah.
Anyone not named Shi Smith. I'm going to be nice to Shi Smith. It's Christmas.
You might be the only one today because people.
He had a big catch before the half, though.
Yeah.
That led to us kicking a field goal.
No doubt. Because otherwise,
he had a misplay on a punt return, though. I'm like, dude, just let it roll. I don't know what he was thinking.
Trying to do too much.
Trying to do too much.
It's the yin and the yang of being competitive. You know
Absolutely. What I mean? Here's the and this game was not. When we looked at the schedule early in the season, I remember we talked about this right after the Christian McCaffrey trade. We were looking at the schedule and the Lions popped up and we were like, that's a winnable game.
Right.
But I remember Rodney saying this in the chat. He was like, yeah, but Detroit can score, which is true.
Right.
The number 5 offense in the league. Right. They can score. And I thought about that.
And early on, it didn't look, it looked like they were going to keep that narrative going.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. They scored on their first drive and they looked like they were about to score on the second drive. But then
let's be frank.
Yeah.
It was a gift.
Oh, yeah. Santa Claus was like, here you go. And that really changed the whole tide of the game. That flipped the game. We get another possession. We start on our own 3, drive all the way downfield to score a touchdown, mostly running the ball. We're up 14-7 and we never look back.
Right.
Still having said that though, to beat a team like, I know it's funny because we have this like a picture of the Lions just like always being terrible, but they're not terrible this season.
They're building. I mean, they're building something, and you could tell their next step is to get better on the defensive side of the ball. That's pretty obvious.
Boy, okay, so I thought the Panthers' run defense was bad.
Man, did the Detroit Lions have me and you in the middle? Like, seriously, dude.
I've never seen, and I've been watching football since I was a kid. I've never seen so many runs where the runner is just literally untouched through the first 2 levels.
It looked like Alabama versus John C. Smith.
Yeah. I've also never seen a game have so many huge runs.
Right.
Like 20-yard run. It was like
almost it's like you would expect in every other run.
Chuba Hubbard only ran 12 times.
Right.
For 120 yards. Average 10 yards a carry.
While we're here, Chuba Hubbard averaged 10.4 yards a carry. Dante Foreman averaged 7.9 yards a carry. DJ Moore had 1 for 8.
Dante Foreman had a long run of 38. Chuba Hubbard a long run of 35.
But then there were long runs in between those long runs.
He might, like a 20 here. I've never seen anything like that.
So,
here's what's interesting about that was that the Detroit Lions run defense have been showing improvement over the last few weeks.
Right.
But as we saw last week against Pittsburgh, a team will always test your weakness. We had said the same thing about the Panthers. The run defense terrible, but it looked pretty good the last few weeks. Right. And Pittsburgh's like, all right, we're going to see.
We'll see.
And we saw.
And they saw.
Yep. Same thing this week with Detroit. I think Coach Wilkes he learned something in that Pittsburgh game.
And I'm just, correct me if I'm wrong, man, but I saw a lot of counters and I saw a lot of runs up the middle, man. It seemed like they were attacking the middle of that line a lot and having obvious success with it. Detroit came to the game, I think, 26 against the run.
Yeah.
And like you said, that was even showing improvement up until that point. So kudos to Wilkes and kudos to that staff for seeing something that obviously worked.
I kind of give Ben McAdoo some credit. Although,
come on,
that wasn't a hard game plan to implement, though. I will say, though, I mean the plays that he called, even I'm going to say more important, the passing plays that he called. Right. Sam Darnold threw for 250 yards on only 22 attempts.
You got to give them props for that.
Yeah.
Now, of course, this crazy running game that we had today is going to make Sam Darnold's job a whole lot easier.
Exactly.
But at the same time, man, like even if you're talking about the last month or so, they're making Sam Darnold a very efficient quarterback, man. And that's, you got to give him props.
I said this last week and people thought I was crazy, but I'm going to roll with this. Keep Sam Darnold one more season. Keep him next season. Don't rush to get rid of him.
Don't reach to get rid of him. That's my thing. Yeah. Don't reach. Don't just get a quarterback just because he's available.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna repeat myself again, man. If you don't see the guy that's not going to be your quarterback for the next 10 years, don't do it.
If Lamar Jackson is not willing to come here, then roll with Sam one more season.
Right.
See what Matt Corral's got, in the back.
Keep building that defense.
Exactly.
Yep. Maybe go out and get another wide receiver. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall Jr., and Laviska Shenault.
That's why I said maybe.
that's solid because I feel like since Coach Wilkes has taken over, we've seen what Shenault can do.
Yeah.
But Terrace Marshall, who was much maligned at the beginning of the season, like they were talking about waiving him.
Kaz, I think it's important for us to make, maybe not now, but we should make a list of all the guys who have shown like this crazy improvement since Matt Rule has been going on. And Terrace Marshall Jr. may be at the top of that list for him.
Yeah, he's looked.
Like he's blossomed.
And when you got DJ Moore, who might be the most underrated player in the league, that catch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. That's big time.
I mean, tiptoes right behind the white. I mean,
I've never seen DJ Moore so happier in my life, bro.
Yeah, it's and the thing is not like Sam Darnold ain't new to the team. It's coaching. Mm-hmm. It's got to be like it's coaching. Let's talk about the other side of the ball. Now, the defense really did not shine today like they normally did.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty pedestrian.
But that's because the Lions offense is really good. Jared Goff is a good. I mean, he made the Pro Bowl. He's really good this season. They did stop the run, but I think that was more so of a product of the Lions were playing from behind, so they couldn't run the ball that much. They only had 17 carries, as opposed to Carolina's 43 carries.
Right.
So there was just not a lot of opportunities for them to gain yards that way.
They have two really good receivers, man. DJ Chark and St. Brown are two really good
DJ
ones,
Chark had 108 yards on 4 catches.
And both of them are burners. Like, both of those can run. They can run go routes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, pretty pedestrian. They did get 2 sacks. Brian Burns, who, Pro Bowler Brian Burns. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yep.
But they really couldn't get a lot of pressure on Goff.
Yeah.
That Lions O-line did a great job.
And let me say this, man. First, I guess kind of the first quarter of the game, maybe through the first half, it kind of worried me a bit, especially on those first 2 drives, because it seemed like we weren't even coming close to Jared Goff. However, that brings me to a point, man. You know the unit that I have to give a lot of credit to today, the secondary. You know whose name we didn't hear today? Mr. Keith Taylor.
Nope.
We didn't hear his name today, man.
Even after J.C. Horn left the game with an injury.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, they're gonna go after that.
I thought the Lions would pass for 400 yards today, dude.
But you know what? When players get picked on, they look at that in the film room.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, here's what you're doing wrong. And they work on that.
Yeah,
they just don't say, this mom.
It is noted CJ Henderson came back today, too. I think that is worth noting as well.
Yeah, I thought, the Panthers looked solid defensively. Didn't look, as solid as you could look against Jared Goff in their offense without offensive line. No real standout performances today.
I noticed that. Because I'm before we came on today, I was looking at the stats and kind of looking back at some of the moments of the game. And I'm just like, I don't know who I would pick as the defensive MVP today. I know we're not there yet, but
I guess my question is, I'm thinking this the whole game. How do you feel about the offense as a whole going forward?
All right. I don't want to be negative fan here. However, we got to keep something in mind. We played the Detroit Lions today, who are not very good defensively. Okay?
That's true.
All right. I like the fact that we have created this identity. However, what Pittsburgh told us last week is if we're going to take the run game away, Sam has got to be, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for, man? He can't just be game manager anymore.
Exactly.
If we get into a situation where he's not game manager anymore, do we trust Sam to win us a game? I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that question.
I trust Sam. I don't trust Ben McAdoo to call the right plays. I feel like if you call the right plays for Sam and you give him protection, he'll deliver. Right. I'll say this about Sam Darnold, and I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but he's no longer seeing ghost. He does not look like the Sam Darnold. He doesn't
look jittery in the pocket anymore. Yep.
He does not look like the Sam Darnold that led the league in interceptions his first 4 seasons, along with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, not fumbling the ball anymore.
Sam hasn't turned the ball over in the 3 games since he's been back at all, which is pretty incredible.
Absolutely.
To say that about Sam Darnold. But it's just that I feel like McAdoo just he called a good game today, but I could have called that game against Detroit. Like, okay, we're gonna run the ball on break.
Look, man, I know where it sounds like we're crapping on McAdoo a lot, man. But when you're just playing smash mouth football, there's not a lot to it, bro.
And I don't think, and I know, there were some wrinkles with the read option and the triple option, but we're not designed to do that.
Okay, I'll put this in perspective. We didn't see all this read option last week.
They
knew better, right? They knew better.
Yeah, that wasn't going to work against Pittsburgh.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm okay with Sam Darnold as long as he continues the calm decision making. He doesn't see ghosts.
Mhm.
And really, what McAdoo's job has to be is, okay, so they're stopping the run. How do we mitigate that?
Yeah,
Like, what are they doing to stop the run?
Right.
Are they stacking 9 guys in the box?
Right,
Okay,
right.
you should be able to beat that fairly easily.
Yeah.
Or what is it they're doing to stop the run?
Right.
Because Pittsburgh wasn't just putting 9 guys on the line of scrimmage and daring Sam Darnold to beat us. They were out scheming us.
Yeah,
They were doing a lot of things in order to fill the gaps and just take away. They were pushing us to the edges.
And to be fair, Sam Darnold kind of handled that pretty well, as well as he could. You know what I mean?
Right. So that'll be interesting moving forward. Although our last 2 games, we're not playing like these elite defenses in Tampa and in New Orleans. But if they make the playoffs, which if everything plays out how it is now, if the Panthers win their last 2 games, they would host a home game.
Oh my God!
Against the Dallas Cowboys.
Call the National Guard into Charlotte.
Yeah,
if that happens.
Now the Cowboys are the Cowboys, but they're still a really good defense. They're a better team than the Panthers.
Absolutely,
and they're a real good defense. So.
But, however, there's this mystique that I love about the Cowboys. I just love it. You just know that somewhere there's a choke job waiting. and if I can just point out one thing that I love most about the Cowboys, that you just know at some point it's coming. It's like the whole organization feels this pressure, and Jerry Jones is on the field, and the fans are nervous, and it happens, and it's a beautiful thing.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The Panthers have played the Cowboys in the playoffs twice, correct? Or once?
I just remember once. That was 96. But I'm wrecking my brain to try to think.
When was Quincy Carter their quarterback? I could have swore we played it one other time.
That was 96, I believe.
Okay.
No. Aikman was still the quarterback.
Yeah, I was going to say, I could have swore we beat them, a Quincy Carter-led Cowboys team.
We beat them at home very early on in the franchise history. But I'm trying to think of another time, and I can't. So. Anyway, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great if it happened. But I just said that to say that the Cowboys are a far superior defense than any defense we played in the last few weeks.
McAdoo would have to come with it. It ain't, right.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be some real scheming and coaching involved.
And can he game plan out someone like Micah Parsons?
And look, and we're talking about McAdoo, but if it comes to that situation, Al Holcomb it has some work to do too, man. Because
I'm still not.
And look, I hate to bring this up, but we don't know what J.C. Horn's immediate future.
Yeah, J.C. Horn looks like a hurt wrist. We don't know the extent of it, but he took a hit on his wrist. Looks like from Jeremy Chin, some friendly fire.
And Brian Burns thinks it's broken, but
who knows?
Right.
But hey, we were saying if it's broken, you better
put a cast
on it.
Swat all the balls.
Yep, we've seen players in the NFL do that before.
Hey man, Ronnie Lott
cut his finger off.
Cut his finger off and went back out.
Yeah, so
easy for 2 podcasters to say though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if J.C. Horn, if they decide to shut him down because of his health, then so be it.
We gotta go out there and do.
Exactly. So, all right, let's get to offensive MVP because this is tougher than it would seem.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree.
Pick one.
Hey, you know what? I was actually gonna cheat today.
I was gonna do co-MVP.
I was gonna say the offensive line is the MVP today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
buy that. I'll allow that.
Yeah.
They gave up no sacks. Yep. And to have the game, first of all, as good as Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard performed, you don't get that kind of performance without a solid offensive line.
And again, Sam Darnold took no sacks today. Yeah.
So okay. All right.
I'm going to O-line offensive MVP today.
All right, I'm gonna go. See, Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard that's like the easy picks, right?
Yeah.
But a guy like Sam Darnold, if he has a terrible game, the Panthers still might not win.
Right.
Right. Ah, boy. I'm gonna go offensive line too. That's easy.
Nah, look at you. Look at you. Uh-huh.
That's easy.
Now, defensive MVP. Like I was saying, man. Brian Burns, just for the simple fact that he had the two, I guess, impactful plays with the 2 sacks. But outside of that,
I guess I'll go
yeah,
Brian Burns.
man.
Frankie Louvu actually had a pretty impactful game. He had some big tackles.
What was up with these referees and these personal foul calls at the end of the game, man?
Very odd. First of all, I hate it when our teams do this. Don't get chippy when you're getting
murdered,
when you're getting destroyed.
No, be chippy when you
right.
when you in the game.
Yeah,
right.
Between the whistles is when you need to be chippy. When the whistle
Don't
blows,
get your ass kicking in.
Right.
Let's get
don't do that.
bold now.
Because I'm gonna just point to the scoreboard and be like, you see, because it was 31-7 at one time.
Right. And the Panthers got bored basically, and
they got. It looked like Wilkes got to tighten it up. I know it's Christmas Eve, and you feel like the game's in the bag.
What was the game where it shouldn't have came? What was the game a couple of weeks ago?
Atlanta
game, right? Yeah. Come on, man. I don't want to see.
Well, this. Atlanta and was it the Broncos game?
The Broncos game is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
one of those games that just came down.
It came down to one. It was a one-score game. It was a blowout and then a one-score game.
Right.
And it never got to one score here, but I felt like the Panthers was just kind of being lackadaisical near the end of the third quarter. They were ready to go. I think the refs.
No, I'm sorry. It was the Seahawks game that I was thinking about. Yeah, it was the Seahawks game. Yep.
Yeah, I think the Panthers were ready to go home, and the refs were ready to go home. They were like, personal foul, whatever. It's Christmas Eve. Don't nobody want to be here.
Nobody came to the game to see y'all, man. I didn't. Oh man, hey man. Here's a little mini topic I want to induce real quick, man. You know, Kaiser, man, me and you, we're not real fans, man, because we didn't go out there today because, you know, we could have got tickets, man, and went out there and tailgated. We're not real fans anymore. Question is, man, you going out there in
hell no.
It's 20 degrees.
You know, if I had nothing to do today, nothing.
It is Christmas Eve, by the way.
Right, yeah, exactly. If I had nothing to do today, I might have bought tickets and gone to the game despite how cold it was. Because I've gone to Panthers games where the weather was actually far. It wasn't as cold, but I've gone to games in the pouring rain.
I went to the Monday night game where Double Trouble ran for $2.99 or whatever it was, and it was 32 degrees that night.
You know, I went to 2014, 2015. The last time the Panthers made the playoffs with a losing season, where we played the Cardinals in the rain. It was pouring rain. It was cold. I was there. Yep. So, but today was Christmas Eve. I actually had some more shopping to do. I had last minute stuff to do. I had to set up the studio. There was no way I could have realistically made the game and gone. And still been able to do
adult stuff.
Right, and do adult stuff. Those of you that were able to go to the game and brave the elements.
Hey, man, your fan card is firmly in place.
Yes, you get a stamp. You get the under construction stamp of fan approval.
Need more like you.
Yep.
Wish I could have.
At least you didn't sell your tickets to
PSL guys. You didn't sell your tickets
to Lions fans.
I mean, props to all 8 of the Lions fans that were there today, man.
They were representing. This is like the best season they've had in
years
since they made the playoffs, which was 2015,
something like that.
Yeah. So props to them. I actually think that they have. It looks just from what I saw today and what we've seen throughout the season, they got a good core to build on.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, if they can not give up almost 400 yards rushing, then
they're gonna put themselves give themselves a whole better chance to win.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think they have an upward trajectory as opposed to like Green Bay.
Absolutely.
And Aaron Rodgers eventually is going to be on his way out one day, right?
I don't see Aaron Rodgers being there next season, let alone.
No, don't say that because David Tepper will do some stupid.
Let's move on. Okay.
Next week, the Carolina Panthers take on the Tampa Bay Bucs in the biggest game of the season. If they win that game,
driver's seat.
Yeah, they're really in the driver's seat now. If they win out, they're in the playoffs. But you win that game, you could. I would not suggest losing to the Saints after that, but you could have maybe afford to lose to the Saints depending on what happens.
Yeah.
with Tampa and Atlanta in the final week. A lot of people feel like Panthers should win this game. We've already beat Tampa once.
Mm-hmm.
we're a much improved team. Tampa is in some disarray.
Yeah.
I have a hard time picking the Carolina Panthers to win this game.
I'm glad you said it. I'm so glad you said it.
They'll have to put on a performance of a lifetime, I feel like.
No. It's the defense will especially have to put on a performance of a lifetime. And God, we got to pray to God J.C. Horn is okay to play in that game.
Yeah, if he's not, first of all, if J.C. Horn does not play, I can't
do it.
I cannot pick the Panthers to win. Yeah, and the books are going to go
crazy.
The line's going to be tilted so far. Also, it's a home game for Tampa.
Yeah.
So they're already -3 right there.
Right.
And then J.C. Horn might not play.
Right.
And then on top of whatever the bookies feel like Tampa Bay will beat us by anyway. The odds are stacked against Carolina.
And they got that man. Number 12.
Oh, the GOAT, the greatest football player of all time.
Here's something I learned, buddy. I look, he's not the same Tom Brady. There's a lot of times he looks old. He looks slow. He looks like he needs to retire tomorrow. But you think I'm going to count that dude out? You crazy?
He reminds me of LeBron James. LeBron James looks old and slow.
Not the same athleticism.
And we'll talk about this in a minute, but we almost lost because he was out there. That was the only reason the Hornets almost lost last night. Is because LeBron James was on the floor. Same with Tom Brady. And although the Bucks are having a down season, Tom Brady is like, there are quarterbacks that would literally murder their own family members who have the kind of season that Tom Brady is having now. He's going to break 4,000 plus yards. He's going to have 30 touchdowns and like 3-4 interceptions.
This man divorced a supermodel to play football.
He's like the Terminator. He's like the Terminator.
You know what? We're saying all this, and the Bucks have the Cardinals tomorrow. I believe that is in Arizona. Somebody can correct me if I'm not looking at the schedule. But what if the Cardinals beat the Bucks tomorrow? Does that change how you feel? Because the Cardinals are not very good.
So if the Cardinals are not good enough to beat the Bucks, but the Bucks aren't very good either. That's probably a more even matchup than it would appear. But let's say that the Cardinals pull off a win. That would put
Tampa Bay's favored 7.5, by the way.
Okay, so if Tampa loses, then the Panthers don't have to beat Tampa in order to win the division.
Right.
They would have to beat the Saints, and then they would need Tampa to lose in the final week.
Yeah, we don't need to lose 2 games in a row.
Exactly. We don't want to go in the playoffs losing 2 games in a row. And I feel like you have to beat Tampa because it's a real litmus test for the season.
What you are. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, we beat Seattle. That was a big test to go into Seattle, where historically we have not played well, and to pull out a big win against a playoff team. But division games are different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tampa's always been, I feel like Tampa's probably more of a rival to the Panthers than the Falcons or the Saints are for some reason.
Because the Falcons and the Saints are.
Right, yeah. We remember in the early 2000s, those Tampa Bay, Carolina games. Yep. Those were some tough games, right? So you have to go out there and beat Tampa. If you don't beat Tampa, that you just weren't ready. It just wasn't time.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, because let's be honest, what were we expecting? When Matt Rule was still here and we're in the week 7, were we even expecting to be here?
No,
we're expecting to be competing for a playoff spot.
We said after they traded McCaffrey, top 3 pick.
That's it. We were all on the tank train.
2-3 wins.
Yeah, we were tank commanders when they traded.
We were like, okay, well,
McCaffrey.
It's clear what's going on here.
Right.
That's it.
Props to Steve Wilks, man.
Yeah, props to Steve Wilks and I still feel like he should be the coach. Okay, so they were talking about this on the broadcast. I don't know if they can just name him head coach due to the Rooney Rule.
Yeah, right.
But they should just name him head coach. Just interview, find 2 people of color, me and Jamal. Just interview us. Right, yeah. Right. Be like, Cos, what would you do the Panthers? I don't know.
I'll probably just do whatever Wilks does.
Yeah, exactly. Let me show you what I did on Madden, though. I took us to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. And then they just make Wilks the coach. But, regardless of how the season ends, I'm not mad at the Carolina Panthers at all for this season, especially the way they turned it around.
Right.
If you don't beat Tampa, you
fine.
try. As long as they give effort.
Yeah,
right?
Which I'm not. I have all the faith in the world that they will.
Oh yeah, they're gonna come out ready
to
play.
Be a war.
Wilk's gonna have the boys ready to play.
Yeah,
but
tough game though, man.
Tough game. My official prediction. I'm gonna pick the Bucks. 24, Panthers 17.
This is the prediction where I have never hoped that I'll be wrong so much. I hope I'm wrong. I really, really hope the Panthers make me look stupid next week. Buccaneers 28, Panthers 24. Close game.
That's a good prediction. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, I can't wait to be wrong next week.
All right, let's go on to other interesting news. Pro Bowl selections came out.
Boop, boop. What's that noise? Boop, boop. That is the Brinks truck backing up, buddy.
For the only Carolina Panther to make the Pro Bowl, Mr. Brian Burns.
Yeah. Congratulations to Mr. Burns. Well deserved.
Well deserved. Finally makes a Pro Bowl. I'm sorry. This is his second Pro Bowl. He was an alternate last year.
Yeah.
But he's actually a starter this year. And the Panthers have already, we got offered multiple first round picks for him before the trade deadline. They said no.
Yep.
They are all in on Brian Burns. And now they really have to be all in on Brian Burns.
And now they're going to have to prove they're all in on Brian Burns.
Yes. He's going to want defensive end money.
Oh, boy.
They're going to have to pay it.
Yeah, they better.
So.
Because, no, they really have to. Because if you turn down all those picks.
Oh, yeah. You have to. Yeah. So let me ask you this. Now, I know that you are a huge Brian Burns fan because
Absolutely.
you are a Florida State fan.
Go Noles.
However, objectively, is Brian Burns worth elite defensive end money? Is he worth Von Miller money? Is he worth?
No.
Because that's what he's gonna ask for.
No, I like you. I love me some Brian Burns, but we start talking top tier like Watt and Miller,
or what Von Miller used to be. Not like it.
Right. But no, sir. Mainly for one reason, man. If you're gonna command that type of money, man, you gotta do a way better job of stopping the run, man. And on top of that, what is it? He's at 12 sacks this year, 12, 13, something
12 like after this game. Because he got 2 this game.
Yeah.
So he is actually on the official list. He's tied for 10th.
Okay. See, and that.
Well, I'm sorry. That was before today because he had 10.5 and then he was credited with 2 sacks this game. So he's still in the top 10, but he's not. Nick Bosa, 15 sacks. Myles Garrett.
This is proving my point. This is exactly
even Hassan Reddick.
That proves exactly my point. You know those names you read toward the top? Those are the top guys. And you know what those top guys do? They stop the run a little better than Mr. Brian Burns does. So to answer your question, no, he doesn't deserve.
He is number 2 in tackles amongst all defensive ends.
Right.
But yeah, Pittsburgh was like, okay, we're just gonna run at Brian Burns.
They out schemed. They just game planned him out.
And defensive end is more than getting to the quarterback.
Right.
Right.
So it's the most exciting part. It's the one. It's what fans love.
Now he does this. Like I've noticed that they were doing this today where they drop back and covers the old Julius Peppers thing, and he's athletic enough to make good plays in those situations. But
you can't do those gimmicks against everybody, man. That's been proven.
Yeah, unless you're Julius Peppers.
Exactly.
Let's see the highest paid. So Myles Garrett, highest paid DE in the league,
right?
$25 million.
I think we all agree that's.
And even Von Miller is still making $20 million
right
a year. I'll say okay.
I think I'm cool with giving him somewhere close to 20 million.
Yeah, I'd say that. Okay,
yeah.
not 25. And here's the thing: if his agent comes out and says, "Hey, we want Myles Garrett, Max Crosby money," no, absolutely
Nah,
not.
man.
Cameron Jordan money? Yeah.
Cameron
Jordan makes 17.
Look, Cam Jordan is the one messing up the market right now. Like he ain't Cam Jordan from 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you could, I mean, Robert Quinn is not who you like used to be.
He's not who he used
$14
to be.
million.
Right.
I think you could
get somewhere close to 20, man.
You could work out a deal. I'm just saying, Brian Burns' agent, I know you don't watch our little show, but don't go in there asking for no goddamn.
Yeah, don't go in there and just
acting a fool.
We deserve Myles Garrett. No, sir.
You don't.
No.
But let's say you're whoever the GM for the Panthers happens to be, the mystery person. Could be Scott Fitterer, could still be Matt Rule for all we know.
Whoever's really sitting at the table.
Let's say that Brian Burns' agent does come in and say, we want 26 mil. We want to make more than Myles Garrett. We're not budging on that.
Oh, you're gonna budge. Because who else is gonna pay you that? You think that?
No, but we've seen players price themselves out of a team and then go to Josh Norman.
True.
I mean, he went in.
But did it really work out for him? Let's be fair.
Well, worked out for his bank account,
true,
but
true.
But yeah, it didn't work out for him because he was a better fit for this team.
And look at the organization he went to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you can price yourself out and then you play hardball, and now you end up on another team that even another team might not have paid you Myles Garrett money, but you getting paid, more than you would have got here.
Yeah, but Brian Burns' agent's job is obviously to get him as much money as you want to. So you're going to negotiate at the top. That's what good negotiators do. They're going to negotiate at the price they want. And David Tepper, who is no stranger to negotiations and did business deals and so forth, they're going to negotiate the number that they want. And they can just meet somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle should be 18, 19, 20. It just my opinion. But we'll see how this works out.
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pro Bowl snubs,
Ooh.
I can think of two for our team. I do think Luvu should have made the Pro Bowl.
Luvu is one of the most overlooked players in the NFL.
It's tough though because when you got a guy like Micah Parsons or there are other big time linebackers, and this is one thing I've always hated about the Pro Bowl. Outside linebackers are linebackers too,
right.
And because they rush the passer and get lots of sacks, they rack up these stats and it's easy for them to make the Pro Bowl. Whereas, 3-4 outside linebackers. Whereas Luvu is a 4-3 outside linebacker. He's not going
to get those numbers.
Exactly.
3-4 dudes.
But I feel like the impact that he's made on the Panthers. I mean, he's having a career year.
Yeah.
And then J.C. Horn.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's my two.
Statistically, he's been really like kind of the best quarterback in the NFC.
When you say statistically, you mean like you don't hear his name, like
nobody's
like the advanced stats.
Nobody has scored on J.C. Horn this season.
Right now, he got burnt today, but that's one of the few times.
But it wasn't.
It was on some trickery.
Right?
Yeah.
So. I felt like that was those were two big snubs there. I don't know. We'll get him next season.
Oh, he'll be there, man.
Oh, yeah, he'll be there once. I really feel good about J.C. Horn if he can stay healthy, man.
Right.
If you don't have Gordon Hayward syndrome. Speaking of Gordon Hayward,
hey man, he's back.
He's played very well.
He's back.
In fact, all the starters have we've seen 3 games with all the starters,
right?
And they're 2-1 in those games. All 2 of those games are against playoff teams, and one of those games was against. We were favored in none of those games, by the way. In fact, we laughed on this show last week when we looked at the schedule. Right?
Yep.
We said, "Holy crap,
it's coming."
The Charlotte Hornets are not going to win a game until mid-January, and they made us look stupid.
Well, they're getting healthy, Kaiser. Two things are happening. They're getting healthy, and we are seeing a jump for Mr. LaMelo Ball.
Cowboys up by 6 with 33 seconds left.
Well,
Sorry, bro.
The one positive thing about that is I get to laugh at Eagles fans if the Cowboys win, but I don't want the Cowboys to win. Okay, moving on.
All
right.
But yeah, we said this on the Hive Hoops podcast. By the way, we guessed on the Hive Hoops podcast earlier this week.
Yep.
But we said what's gonna happen. They're gonna get healthy.
They're gonna
They're gonna start playing better.
Yep.
And we'll be right picking 9th, 10th again.
But don't leave out what you also said. We are scared of the fact that Michael and Mitch are gonna be like, you know what, man? Wow, if we just make one trade, we can make it to the play. No,
especially with the Miles. We'll talk about Miles.
We'll talk about that in a second.
But I could see them saying, "Man, if we could just
swing this trade, man, stop it. Just stay still, y'all."
So last night during the Lakers game, I was on the Lakers SB Nation page looking at their game thread, and all they talked about was one, how much they hate. Everyone hates LeBron now.
Weird.
I'll take LeBron. If y'all want LeBron, he can come play his last season with us.
LeBron for Hayward straight up.
Right? Yeah,
you like that.
But all they talked about was who from the Hornets they want.
Of course,
man, I really want Kelly Oubre
because they're spoiled,
right?
Entitled fans.
That literally guys, go to the Lakers SB Nation page. Look at their game thread. I'm telling you, every comment was like,
"We should go after it."
Essentially, they really want Kelly Oubre, which I'm gonna talk about that in a bit. They really want Kelly Oubre, and they'll take Gordon Hayward just to dump his contract off in a season,
right?
Which is sad. I feel bad for Gordon Hayward because that's what your careers come to, where everyone wants
but
you.
He's still a good basketball player. That's the sad part.
That's the thing. Everyone wants Kelly Oubre because he's a good basketball player,
right?
Everyone wants Gordon Hayward because of his contract, because he's a huge expiring contract. You can clear all that off the books. Oh, and he's a good basketball player,
right?
So yeah, it was just weird to hear them in the thread just talk about how much they wanted all of our players.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's always a good day beating the Lakers, man. But hey, man, we go 2-2 this week.
Who would have thought?
Who was picking that?
Who would have thought? I was not picking. Especially, we did say the King. We was like, okay.
The Kings is a winnable game.
Kings is a winnable game.
Won the game.
Right. Clippers, I don't even want to talk about that game.
I do.
Because I know why you want to talk about it.
I do want to talk about it.
Because you want to talk about the Frenchman.
I want to talk about for a couple of reasons.
Let's talk about Clippers.
All right. There's something that actually made me proud of the Clippers game. Believe it or not, I was actually proud of something. We were down 36. Let me repeat that. We were down 36 at one point in the first half.
That's dumb.
The fact that we got to a point where we cut that lead down to 14, I'm gonna take that moral victory today. And fans are gonna be like, "Oh, ain't no more victories." Blah 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 blah. Let me tell you why I'm gonna accept that today. Because there was a point in time with this team, very short while ago. If we were down 36, the game was over. There's no coming back. They would have quit.
Actually, the Hornets won the second half.
They won the second half. They outscored the Clippers in the second half. Yeah. And also, and not to totally blame them this time, but if it wasn't for some bogus calls that kind of killed the momentum, they could have cut into that lead a lot more. I'm not saying they would have won, but they could have even cut into the lead even more than that. So I'm actually gonna give them a little bit of props for that particular game. Now, one more thing. Kaiser, I don't know how much money you have saved up in your bank account.
After Christmas? No.
Okay, cool. So if I ever see Nick Batum on the streets, can you just kind of take up a collection of bail money for me?
21 points.
What in the hell?
7 for 10 from 3. 7 points or 7 rebounds. 21. He was plus 19.
I'm not going to ask the obvious question.
He did all that in 20 minutes.
I'm not going to ask the obvious question because we all know what the obvious question is. I'm not going to ask it, man. Here's my thing. Why does he look so engaged?
Because he doesn't. Focused? Because he's not dependent to here in Charlotte.
He had the pressure to be the second guy.
Exactly. That's what it was.
Okay, that's fair. However, you know what? You're a damn professional. Why don't you act professional when you were here?
Well,
I'm not gonna get my blood pressure up today, man. Let's talk about another game.
They actually played fairly well against Denver, although they allowed
They gave
Jokic
us a historic night.
Yeah, but I mean, this guy is a 2-time MVP
for a reason.
Yeah,
for a reason. Yeah.
The Kings game was a really good game.
Yeah,
they played really, really well. In the Lakers game, they played really well. LaMelo Ball has played spectacular since he's been back. Although he got the Clippers game, he got
silly.
Well, here's the thing. He got triple-double.
Yeah.
So we're like, wow, I got a triple-double.
Right.
But if you look at the stat line, he played very poorly.
No, there were a lot. Yes.
He was 10 for 26.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
But on top of that, there were a lot of there was too much silly young people stuff.
He's playing in his hometown. I know it's LA. He wants to show off.
Right,
He wants
right,
to be
right,
he wants
right.
to be LaMelo Ball.
Right. There was a point in that game he took 3 straight long threes, and it resulted in 9 points for the Clippers. That's the kind of stuff that cannot happen, man.
Yeah, that was he did a better job the next night against the Lakers, I think.
Right. And did a great job against the Kings.
Yeah, that might have been the Hornets' best game of the season.
Absolutely.
Honestly, everyone played really, really well except for PJ Washington. But Gordon Hayward played well. Terry Rozier did not play due to injury. Kelly Oubre played spectacular. Nick Richards had a great game. Mason Plumlee had a great game. Teo Maledon, man. It's when the Hornets are fully healthy, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Teo Maledon.
It's going to be unfair that his minutes are probably going to get cut.
Because Dennis Smith Jr. is going to come back and
and that young man deserves to play, man.
Absolutely, he has played really, really well. In the Lakers game, we talked about this before. I'm not a LeBron James hater. I don't like.
You gotta respect him, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't like the flopping. Actually, just kind of gets to me, right?
It's annoying,
and I don't think he's greater than Michael Jordan.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, but I mean, when LeBron James is on the other team, you can't ever count. You just cannot count them out.
You can never count them
Late in that game last night, I remember thinking, man, we don't have LeBron James, so we're gonna lose. And I remember thinking that when we played Brooklyn earlier. Remember against the Brooklyn Nets where Kevin Durant was just kind of like, all right, fuck it. I'm just gonna go take over the game. I'm just gonna go win the game.
Yeah, game's over. Yep. I'm better than all of y'all.
yeah, pretty much. I'm the best player on the court. What am I doing here? And then you just go out and scores like 12 straight points and they win. LeBron James did that last night. Fortunately, whatever shoe he was wearing malfunctioned. And
got to interrupt you real quick. Breaking news: Miles Bridges has been spotted in the Charlotte Douglas Airport. Just to throw that out there. But LeBron James, busted his tire on the way to the rim.
To the rim. And Hornet, we won on a game-winning shot that didn't even go in. By the way, Gordon Hayward made the play of the game right there.
Yeah.
I don't know who that was trying to box him out, but he just tossed him.
He just tossed him over. Like, get out of here, man.
We forget Gordon Hayward's like 6'9".
He's
not a small dude. He's just kind of like I guess the shoulder is fine.
It looks like the shoulder's pretty good. Because he cleared that duck out, man.
I thought they were gonna call a foul. I was like, oh man, nope, he got the rebound, he goes up with it. LeBron James smacks the backboard, goaltend. But that's the game.
I gotta tell you something that I noticed the main difference between the Clippers game and the Lakers game. You ready for this? PJ Washington, Gordon Hayward, and Kelly Oubre in the Clippers game, 9 for 34 in that game.
Oh my God.
PJ Washington, Gordon Hayward, and who else did I say? Kelly Oubre?
Yep.
Let me do the math real quick. 14, 8 is 22. $22 for 37.
That's
night and day, man.
Yeah, that's the difference between winning and losing.
So
I'm going to also give the Hornets a lot of props for last night's win because they actually lost the fourth quarter. They gave up 43 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I don't
here's
like that.
Here's what I'm hoping the Hornets realize. Maybe Steve Clifford will do what James Borrego did and realize that these dudes just can't play defense.
Right.
So quit trying.
Quit trying to make them something they're not.
Right. Yep. Go out there and just score a bunch of points.
Just tell them to get stops when they really need them.
Right. Yep. So, I mean, both teams have scored 69 points at the half.
Yep.
And they almost doubled that at the end of the game. So
and I find it very interesting how the Los Angeles Lakers are not a good 3-point shooting team at all.
No,
what do they do against the Hornets? 19 for 44, 43%.
Excuse me. When Pat Beverly's
hitting threes on you,
Pat Beverly was
shooting 28%.
He was 3 for 3 from 3-point range.
Coming into the game shooting 28%. By the way,
ridiculous.
Come on, man.
Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, LaMelo Ball played well. He only shot 4 for 12 from 3, but he had a huge 3 in the fourth quarter.
Oh, it was some guts. He was very poised.
Yeah, he had another, but then he had another one. So he's got to understand, when do I need to take the big shot? Because when he took that 3, the Hornets really needed it, and it was huge because it put us up by 6.
Right.
And Pat Beverly answered it, but I mean that's the difference between a 3-point lead and a tie game.
Right.
But then later, the Hornets were up, or it might have been before that. The Hornets were up 7.
Right.
Okay.
And he took another one.
And he took a huge, a long 3.
And we didn't need that one.
And then the Lakers come back down and score, hit a 3, right? Now we're down 4, right?
Right.
It's like, would you rather be up 9
right.
or would you rather be, up 4, right?
Right.
You could have just got the easy 2.
But see, and that's what I made reference to this in another show, man. Just like, every time we get these kind of leads, we go dumb. You know what I mean? And that's just another example. Like, what in that situation, run your offense and get the best shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the Hornets, too many times, they got guys who are saying, I can do this one-on-one.
Right.
And LaMelo's obviously LaMelo's the best talent. Let's be very fair about that. But he's mainly the one saying, hey, I can go get us a bucket. And it's always not the best shot selection all the time.
There's a few other things that I really want to talk about when it comes to the Hornets. So real quick, let's look at their upcoming schedule here.
Before I do, I want to give props to Terry Rozier. I've been hard on that man for the last month or so. But last night he showed up, man,
and he looked like he wasn't 100%, but he played well.
He played with some guts last night. Not 9 for 15, 23 points, and hit some big shots last night, man. So props.
Also, PJ Washington, we stay on PJ, but he played really. We don't win against the Lakers. He has some huge plays late against the Lakers.
Man, play some good defense on
against LeBron. Yeah,
as well as you can.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
Hey, Kawhi Leonard won a Finals MVP. Allowing LeBron James to average
Andre Iguodala.
And Andre Iguodala.
Both of them, really.
Yeah, you let that man get 34 points, and they're like, "Wow, he didn't score 50." Yeah. Right. Upcoming the day after Christmas, the Hornets play Portland, and then Portland, and then Golden State on a back-to-back, and then Oklahoma City and Brooklyn. Before you see us again. After that, they play the Lakers again in Charlotte.
Yeah.
These next 4 games.
Tough, man. Golden State is really beat up right now. I don't even know if Steph's going to play in that game or not. I truly don't know that or not. Even if he does, man.
We beat him earlier this year
in the season, and we're getting healthy. That's the key. We're getting healthy. So I'm not going to sit here and be as cynical as I was last week, because let me confess to you, I was pretty emotional and cynical.
Oh, same here. I was like, we're not winning any more games ever.
But I'm off the cynical train now, so I'll be a lot more sensible about these picks, man. It's still tough. Let me be very fair. We never beat Portland in Portland, so I'm going to go ahead and count that one as an L, man. I'm going to count. I'm actually going to predict that we win in Golden State and just kind of cross my fingers that they don't have their full roster. Okay. Oklahoma City. Look, I don't think that is as winnable of a game as it used to be, if you know what I mean. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is on a tear right now. He is balling out of his mind right now. 44 points last night. I'm still going to pick us to win in a tight game, but again, it's just I'm picking us to win, but I don't feel very confident about it, to tell you the honest to God truth, man. Next game, who we got? Brooklyn. I'll count that as an L because we just can't. Because they're actually getting it together as well. And Kyrie Irving is balling, and Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. So
I'm gonna say 2-2. I actually think though we're gonna beat Portland.
You think so?
We're gonna get that monkey off our back.
Okay, all right.
I think we're gonna lose to Golden State only because Golden State they remember stuff.
Oh yeah, they're petty.
They are super petty. Yeah, I like the Warriors, but they petty, and they remember losing to us in Charlotte, and they're gonna feel like they need to get one. Plus, second game of a back-to-back after the holidays on the West Coast.
After you've traveled back from Charlotte.
That's gonna be tough. But then Oklahoma City and Brooklyn are home games, so I think we're gonna beat Oklahoma City in a tough one. Brooklyn is gonna pull out the Kevin Durant card late and end up. Close it out.
He's playing. Hey, look, man. He's playing at MVP level right now, dude.
Yeah,
he's that guy right now.
All right, but we might go a little bit over because there are a lot of things I want to talk about before we get to the salacious stuff, the controversy. I want to talk about last night. Nick Richards injured his ankle.
Yeah, that I swear, man. The ankle injuries are like COVID on the team, dude.
Is this Mark Williams time to shine? Now Mark Williams did not play last night. Right. Nick Richards went out before the half. And Del Curry made a great point because I know there were fans like, why isn't Mark Williams playing? Del Curry made a great point about how...
Listen, I already know what you're going to say. And I wanted to pause the TV and be like, I hope all y'all fans are listening to this dude right now. But go ahead.
Now, Del Curry stated that you don't want to put a rookie in a situation, a road game, against LeBron James of all people, and you have a chance to win.
Right.
You don't want to put a rookie in this situation. Right. Plumlee's got to play it out. And what ended up happening was that actually the Lakers helped us out. They went small late. That allowed us to go small.
And Plumlee actually got a big basket just going to the rim because there was no rim protection.
They were small. He would just move them out of the way. And then late in the game, PJ stepped in. LeBron James played the 5 for Los Angeles. PJ guarded him, and we were good. But that's not going to work next game. And if Nick Richards is not ready to go, you got to think we're gonna see our guy.
I don't see how not. I'm just trying to like logically think about what Clifford could do around this rotation. You're not gonna stick Kai at 5, are you?
No. Okay. I've been defending Steve Clifford for forever since his first stint. But bro, if you roll out some PJ Washington at the 5,
PJ at 5, I'm done. I can't defend you anymore. I can't do it. Nope.
Yep. Nope. If Mark Williams does not sub out Mason Plumlee,
but is Kai Jones gonna be?
Kai Jones. I don't think they're grooming Kai Jones to be a 5.
I don't think so. But at the same time, it's not like he can't be a 5.
He could.
You get what I'm saying?
But I think Mark Williams is probably better at the 5 than Kai Jones
agree
is.
On that.
And I think you gotta give the rookie a chance. This is like for instance, like LaMelo Ball. Remember when LaMelo Ball was a rookie and he wasn't playing? And everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's better."
He's the worst thing in the world. Really good.
And then when what's his face got injured, Devontae Graham got injured, and LaMelo came in, and that was it, right? All right, so maybe this is the same situation now.
Kaza, everything you're saying is making 150% sense. Okay. But something in my gut is just telling me they're going to try something else.
They're going to be like, Mark's not ready. And the thing is, we've seen, I don't put a lot of stake into G League stats. But the guy's like dominating the G League.
James Bouknight did too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what I've seen is that guys who dominate the G League are NBA ready. They just may not be as good as the people who are ahead of them on the roster. Right. But they're just, he's like Shaq in the damn G League, right?
Right.
So I feel like you got to give him his chance. This is what other chance is he gonna have? Nick Richards is unavailable to play. Yeah. Like, what else are you waiting for?
Right. I hope, man. But on top of this, hopefully we get Dennis Smith Jr. back, man. I'm really excited about his return because I love Theo Maledon, man. Like, I love Theo Maledon. Love him. He deserves to play. He deserves minutes. But he don't lock down like
DSJ.
He doesn't change the game like Dennis Smith Jr. does when he comes in the game. So.
And Dennis Smith Jr. could ball offensively too. He could really play both sides.
He doesn't have the range that Maledon has, but he can get to the bucket, man.
I would like Theo Maledon to be. You know how every team has just that one guy they bring in are you going to shoot some threes and you're going to hit them and you're going to sit down?
Yeah.
That's what the Hornets don't have anybody like that. And he might be that guy.
Yeah.
All right, on to the tabloid stuff. Quite a few things. First of all, Miles Bridges, not only so a report came out from Woj dropped the Woj bomb saying that talks between the Charlotte Hornets and Miles Bridges are gaining traction, right? Yeah. And then we see him at the Lakers game in street clothes. Yep. And not only was he there, he's dapping up LeBron.
Hey, miss you, man.
Yeah. And this is a weird thing. I was Christmas shopping yesterday, and I was in there's a calendar store in Northlake Mall, which is the weirdest thing. That's like all they sell is calendars. But they had an NBA calendar, an NBA 2023 calendar. Right. Guess who's on the cover? Miles Bridges.
In a Hornets uniform.
Dunking a basketball. And I was like, weird, because I thought the NBA had kind of blackballed
stripped all that
Miles Bridges stuff out, but it's kind of like they're like, okay, all right, we're all good now. So
that gives credence to what I was about to say, but go ahead.
No, I want you to go ahead and tell me your thoughts on just all of this as a whole.
This whole time, I have been thinking one thought. This whole time Miles Bridges has been out, I have been thinking that the Hornets, they either know or have an idea.
Of course they do, yeah.
How many games this dude is going to be suspended.
Yeah.
And they are timing this to a T.
Yep.
You hear me? So what you're saying is it is on board with exactly what I've been thinking with this whole Miles Bridges situation. They know how much he's going to get suspended. And then waiting on the right time. And we don't have official information. Let me be very clear about that. But I'm thinking in the next couple of days, they're going to roll, that something's going to shake as far as him being signed.
Right.
The numbers, whatever. I don't know.
It won't be. It won't be
what he got. What he was getting.
Right. It won't be what he was asking or what he would have been worth before all this.
Right.
But he's gonna get paid. Right. He's gonna be here another 3-4 years.
And I wonder. I really wonder if the Hornets are just gonna do the Hornets thing. You know what I mean? And here's what I mean by that. Are they just gonna be quiet about what happened and just hope people forget? Or domestic violence in sports has been a hot button issue for probably the last decade or so now, right? Yeah.
And the NFL seems to be more aware of the social perception of it, mainly because the NFL is a violent sport, right? The NBA is trying to remove itself from violence.
And quite honestly, they've had a lot of guys busted for domestic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. More so than the NBA, or at least that we know. Yeah. But we've seen other people in the NBA have divestive. Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
I mean, it followed him through his career, and I mean, he's continued to be successful he was successful, obviously, as a player and as a coach. Rajon Rondo. We've seen other guys.
Mark Stoudemire.
Yeah, we've seen other guys. Guys more famous and less famous than Miles Bridges is where it's, hey, okay, that's something you did.
Yeah.
And
here's some generic apology. Somebody
right. Yeah. So you're going to do some community service.
Right.
Get suspended some games for violating the league's whatever policy.
Right. Personal conduct policy.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
And then you're back in the league. Okay. Welcome back to the highlight videos.
Right. This was going to happen.
And it makes me, I'm I was a huge Miles Bridges fan. Like, I was a big Miles Bridges fan.
You want to root for the guy.
Exactly.
You want to.
And I'm all for second chances.
Right.
But see, that doesn't mean that I just forget about what you did,
Right.
Right. Like, you still have to make amends to that, not just to me, but to whoever it was that you did wrong. And I understand.
You got kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand there's probably more to that situation about there's two sides to every story. Okay, yeah, there is, but the one side we know
is a very egregious side.
Right, yeah.
Yes. That's the side we know.
Yeah. The side we saw on Instagram, bro, you better have your side better be
But see, when we've talked about this at nauseam, man, even over the summer when it happened, man, it's just like I just wonder how much of a redemption tour is that going to be? And you know what I mean by that? Like how much is?
I'll tell you this. I don't think Miles Bridges will any longer be as front and center promotional wise
Right.
as he was before.
I agree.
No more Hornets posters.
Yeah.
They'll sell his jersey, but you're not gonna see him in the highlight.
On the game
yeah,
flyers
exactly.
and-
I mean, now let's say, however, let's say when he comes back, he's Super Balling, or next season he has an All-Star season.
Right.
The Hornets are good.
Right.
You're gonna start seeing Miles Bridges highlights.
But you know what? You know what would quell all of this? It's very simple. A heartfelt, contrite apology.
Yeah, no,
and I mean a good one. I'm not talking about some handwritten, some shit.
kind of like yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about.
I felt like Ray Rice's apology was sincere.
Yeah. Even though his act was just.
And plus, we saw it. We saw the video.
Right,
like, yo,
right.
like,
but the fact that he stood in front of the world,
yeah.
with his girlfriend and didn't have anything written down and told everybody how sorry it was, that quelled it. Even though he wasn't the same after that,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But at least he was man enough to face the camera and face the world and say, "Hey, I did this disgusting act and I apologize for it." I want the same for Miles Bridges.
Plus, there's another big element of this is that LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges are friends. Like
that's a huge part.
They looked like best friends again when they saw each other after the Lakers game.
Anybody who denies that is kidding themselves.
So more on that.
More on that in
a second. But there's this talk about LaMelo Ball gonna leave the Hornets or whatnot. Well, what better way to get him to stay, if there's any credence to that, than to re-sign his best friend, right?
I see no credence in that.
No, I don't. By the way, LaMelo Ball did unfollow the Hornets Instagram page, so of course that means what that means. That means he's gonna leave the Hornets forever because he unfollowed their Instagram page. That he probably doesn't even run. I bet LaMelo Ball doesn't even know what's on his Instagram page. But yeah, I mean, so when you brought Miles Bridges back, LaMelo is gonna be happy to play with his boy. The Charlotte Hornets, because a lot of people feel like this is going to be a sign and trade kind of thing.
Why? I don't get that.
Because they feel like if you trade him, you could get value for him, right?
You get value for him, and
then you kind of wash your hands of the whole domestic violence thing.
Okay, cool. But you know why? I don't buy that crap. Because who that's coming from? That's coming from tank commanders.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's coming from the guys who are saying, "Oh, the Charlotte Hornets should just bottom out," because it's the easy narrative every single time for the Hornets.
No,
just bottom out.
Those people want the Hornets to tank forever. And here's the thing: there are some people who have always said the best way for the Hornets to build is to go into the draft, accumulate picks, and raise your own pick. You pick well, and then raise them up.
What have we been doing?
Which is what we've done, right?
We've been doing, man.
So we got a guy, Miles Bridges.
But see, this is why I hate this kind of narrative, man. Because when the second we struggle again, oh my God, the world is falling apart. Michael Jordan's the worst owner ever. We don't know what we're doing. Blah blah blah. We're even seeing as we get healthy and as the team is getting better, that BS is gonna calm down. So what now?
Right. One last thing. Speaking of LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges being boys, so
before you even get to this part, Kaiser, I just want to go 2 months,
right, without some kind of
crazy
ridiculous news
with some young person from the Charlotte Hornets. But go ahead.
So apparently, LaMelo Ball has a deal with the trading card company Panini, in which they would release these limited edition LaMelo Ball rookie cards that were signed by LaMelo by LaMelo Ball. Right. And apparently, I mean, and they made a huge batch of these cards, right? And apparently, one of the batches, LaMelo Ball had Miles Bridges sign those cards as
one of these things don't look like the other.
So fans and collectors immediately noticed, hey, this LaMelo Ball autograph doesn't look like this one. And then someone else posted a picture of the Miles Bridges autograph card, and it looks like Miles Bridges' handwriting on the LaMelo Ball signature. So now Panini is in a world of trouble. and there's a lawsuit being filed by collectors because those LaMelo Ball autograph rookie cards go for $1,000 a pop plus.
Right.
And
if you got a fake one,
if you pay for a LaMelo, even though those might end up being worth more because they're like error cards, but if you paid $1,000 for a LaMelo Ball autograph card and it's Miles Bridges, leader of the domestic assault brigade, then that's not good, right?
Right.
My question is, why? Why are you doing this?
Why can't y'all just
sign the damn card?
Sign the damn card.
Why you gotta call your mans?
So out of all the people on the team, not Miles Plumlee, not one of the vets,
not Terry,
yeah,
Gordon Hayward's probably. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I gotta go to church.
Let's call the guy who's been in the most hot water,
right,
and say, "Hey man, forge my signature on these expensive ass cards."
Man, they ain't gonna know.
They ain't gonna know. The signature. Look, I'm gonna show you how to write my name.
Right.
You can't make this stuff up, man.
And that's there are a lot of people are disappointed with the LaMelo Ball rookie cards, the launch of those cards. I guess if you wanted one of those cards, they didn't come in packs. You had to order them from Panini.
Right.
And a lot of people are stating that they never got the cards. They were released 6 months ago and they're still waiting. And it probably has something to do with, well, you're probably in legal trouble because LaMelo Ball didn't even sign half these.
So look, man, here's my serious response to that question, man. With Miles Bridges and with James Bouknight, and even though he doesn't play for us anymore, Montrezl Harrell, after the Bouknight situation, I held out some hope that, man, I hope this is the last story and sign of immaturity that we see from these young boys for a while. And no, it just can't be. We just can't go 6 months without something happening with some young player from the Charlotte Hornets doing something stupid. Okay, allegedly, whatever.
I just don't. I mean, seeing what James Borrego had to deal with now, and what
there's a lot.
Steve
of people,
Clifford.
There's a lot of people owe James Borrego an apology for it.
Oh yeah, definitely,
I swear, man. Because,
and if I was JB, I'd be like, not accepted.
Right. Seriously.
Not accepted.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, man.
But Christmas was good as far as the Hornets are concerned.
Hey,
so Hornets, Panthers.
Look, man.
Hurricanes.
We beat the Lakers and the Panthers win. It's a good Christmas holiday.
Speaking of Christmas holiday, before we go,
you want to address that controversial statement you made last night?
No, I will not. I will not.
You stand on that?
Top 3. We're not gonna go 5. What are your top 3?
Okay.
Christmas songs.
You already know my number 1, but I'm gonna give you 3. Okay, the other 2 are not in order. This Christmas, Donny Hathaway, because like I was telling you off camera, you gotta have that song.
That has to be on your list.
Oh God, what is?
And it has to be the original.
Yes,
not the cover.
We ain't talking about Chris Brown or whoever else covered it. And no, Donny Hathaway this Christmas. Donny Hathaway this Christmas. God, what's my other one, man? I don't know if I have another one. I'm gonna go what Christmas Means to Me by Stevie Wonder. I like.
Oh, okay, yeah. Actually, that's a good one. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
And my obvious number 1 for anybody who knows me personally, Let It Snow, Boys and Men.
Yes,
all day,
absolutely.
Every day. Yeah, man.
Mine is number 3, "Merry Mother Christmas" by Eazy-E.
Yes,
I love that song because I hate Christmas. I'm a Grinch, and so I sing it all the time while I'm out shopping. The hook is incredible. If you don't know, go listen to it. Number 2, "Christmas in Hollis" by Run DMC. Because
that's a good one.
Yeah, I remember growing up, hearing that song. Hip hop Christmas stuff was kind of odd to hear, but cool for us young people.
Yeah.
And then number 1 is this Christmas, Donny Hathaway.
Absolutely.
Although I will say, I always listen to the Death Row Christmas album. Death Row had a Christmas album. It was dope.
It was dope too.
It was incredibly dope. So go listen to that. I don't listen to whatever.
Hey, here's my hot take and probably my bias as well. I'm gonna challenge y'all. Somebody tell me what is a better Christmas album than Christmas Interpretations. If you got an album that's better than Christmas Interpretations, let me know. And let me be very clear. Yes, I am very biased, but I'm also asking a very real question as well. album, not song, not compilation. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you have your personal favorite, which is the Death Row Christmas, and I get that.
Right.
Hey, but
I wouldn't say it's better though.
But it's also a compilation, which is kind of cheating. I mean, an album by an artist. Give me more Christmas album better than Christmas interpretations. Think about that and get back to me.
Yeah, no, I really can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got any Christmas shout-outs, shout-ats?
Shout out to Josh from Hornets League.
Yeah,
man. No, we had a really good time on that podcast.
We
man.
did.
We are going to have to invite him.
We're definitely going to have him on the show.
Yeah, no, we had a good time. Thank you for inviting us on the pod, man. That was really fun, man.
Absolutely.
Shout out to disgusting human beings who
shoot people in the feet,
shoot people in the foot at malls, and run over grandmas that go get iPads and just are not very nice, really any day, but especially around the holidays, man. Y'all check yourselves, man. Like this commercialism and capitalism and greed, let that shit go around this time. At least. At least.
It's, it's funny. I despise Christmas and I'm a huge Grinch, but I go out of my way to be nice during for other people during this time.
It affects people in different
exactly
ways.
And I know that everyone is stressed out. Yeah. Everyone is Christmas. Right. So I'm not going to add to that.
Right.
Right. I see people fighting all the time. I actually went to North Lake Mall. I joke about North Lake Mall a lot because you might get shot.
I'm so glad.
But I went there this weekend to shop, and yeah, I could see what I thought. I was like, look, man, I'm gonna have to start airing this bitch out. You know what I'm saying? If somebody don't, it's wild, out there because people just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know it's Christmas Eve. That's why not a lot of people are watching or interacting. You're spending time with your families. Please do that.
Yeah.
And you can watch this anytime and hit the comments anytime.
Yeah, once you get tired of your family, just watch this after you get tired and kick them out of the house.
We'll be back next Sunday, of course. So I hope you guys, everyone, have a great Christmas. Have a great week after that. Be safe and keep pounding. We will see y'all next week. Peace, y'all.
Peace.